Hey there, welcome to Wiley's Wednesday Walks.
Every week we're here to chat about life and what it looks like as a disciple of Christ.
Whether you're driving to work, working from home, or just trying to keep it all together.
We've got some awesome conversations, cool interviews, and fresh takes on discipleship.
Don't forget to share and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Grab your headphones.
Grab your headphones.
Grab your headphones.
Grab your headphones.
Let's dive in.
Well, welcome everybody. This is episode 2 of our podcast, and you probably heard a bit different of a take on our intro, and that's because this is a Wiley's walk, not just a Wiley walk. So you heard kids and the wife and myself in that intro, and this time my loving wife, who last episode reminded me or told me that I never really introduced myself. So my name is Chris, just in case you didn't know that. And
Christopher.
Well, that's only if you're my older relative, somebody who's been in charge of me my whole life.
If your cousins are listening, your name is Sissifer.
They still call me Christopher. And there you are bringing stuff in that's had nothing to do with this podcast. But as you've heard, this wonderful woman who sits beside me, I've been married to her for 20 years.
20 years.
Technically, as of yesterday, the recording of this. So 20 years on April 2nd. Man, it's been a long time. A little bit funny story there. We wanted to get married on April 1st.
Yes.
We tried to do that. But circumstances of our marriage, we actually thought people would take it as a joke, and we didn't want that. We actually wanted the people to show up to our wedding. And then also my brother-in-law, his senior prom, I believe it was.
Yeah,
what is his senior prom? That was the night of his senior prom. And so even then, we were giving to Sonia's siblings and making sure that they're taken care of.
That's right.
And he is now married, 2 kids, an awesome dad, and I love being a part of the family. But that's just a funny story. So we got married on April 2nd. So this is my wife, Sonia. Sonia, go ahead and say hello.
Hello.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I don't know what you want me to tell them. I'm married to Chris Wiley. We got a bunch of kids.
Tell them a little bit about you. Like, what do you do? Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm new to this whole podcast thing. Sorry. You gotta help me. So I am wife, first and foremost, mom. But then I work for an incredible ministry called Save One. We help men, women, and families recover after an abortion. So whether it was a personal choice or forced upon, or just part of someone in your family and you're hurting and you're grieving and you don't know how to process all those emotions, well, that's what we do. We take you through a Bible study and just help you know that God's forgiveness is available to you, that his love has not left because of any sins that we have done. And so that's a major part of who I am. I'm a worshiper at heart. I've been leading worship for several years. So there's me in a nutshell.
All right. Well, you kind of jumped right into the next segue of our worship history. And let me just correct something on you. You are not a wife, first and foremost. You are a daughter of God.
That's right. I am. Daughter of the King.
And so that comes before
it
even
absolutely
being.
Does. Yeah.
As many of you do know us, we are worshipers.
Yeah.
We have been worshipers from a way back. Mine goes a little bit further than yours. There's some worship history there. Do you want to get into that? How we actually became a duo in worship?
I'm not sure where you're going with that, other than I didn't want to be on the stage.
There it is.
That what you're talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Is she did not want to be on the stage. So when we first got married, I was doing worship, associate pastoring, and youth pastoring, kind of the whole thing. And I knew she could sing, and she would never admit it, but I knew it. And so it took some coaxing to get you up on the stage.
In the background first.
Very much in the background.
Background vocals only.
It was, yes, very much background vocals only. And then occasionally on a Sunday morning, I would just be like, hey, why don't you lead this song? And she would fight me. And then her dad, our pastor, would get involved and he would say, lead the song. And
no, did I actually lead a song when we were at my dad's church?
You did. You
I
did.
feel like I didn't step out of that until we went and helped plant the church in Nashville.
No, you led a couple of songs, but
I
you
did.
never took reins
Okay.
until we got into really helping Pastor Todd and
Yeah.
the church there.
That's really
And
where
then-
I stepped out.
And Brett really just kind of made you do it.
Oh yeah.
And that was partial, I think, his plan, but then also partial because he had so much stuff going on in his life. He would be like, "Hey guys, I'm not going to make it Sunday," and so then we're like, "Okay, here we go."
Yeah. So to explain that, so we left our home church to go help a pastor friend of ours plant a church in South Nashville. And when we came on staff, we were just associate pastors, nothing more than that.
Yep, that was it.
And very soon we were asked to, hey, can you guys come help with worship? Pretty sure.
I think like maybe the second week.
Yeah.
I mean, it was real fast.
We love you, Pastor Todd and Rachel. And we are not sorry for anything that happened.
No, not at all.
It stretched us. It grew us. That was an amazing time of our ministry. But yeah, so Brett was leading worship for the church, and he asked us to help. And so we would step in. Well, then he'd be like, "Hey, Sonia, I want you to lead this song." What? Like, no, I don't want to lead. I don't want to lead. And just like you said, he was running a nonprofit ministry himself for homeless. He's an amazing, incredible man. I miss them so bad. But anyway, so he would be so busy. He'd be like, I need you guys to just take the worship. And eventually we did end up just doing worship altogether because of, again, his ministry just got so busy and took him away. But I remember distinctly, like for months, every Sunday before church would even start, I'd be in the bathroom almost dry heaving because I was so nervous. I didn't want to be on stage. I didn't want anybody looking at me. Like worship was between me and God, and I didn't feel like I was qualified enough. I didn't feel like I was talented enough to be on stage. And so it was just hard. It was a hard time. It took me a long time to get out of feeling like I was not worthy to be there on stage. So, yeah.
And then we planted the church with Pastor Todd, and then we went and planted our own.
Yeah.
And there was nobody else.
So
It was us. And then it was, now that our kids are with us, they don't really have a choice.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're going to be involved. Taylor learned to play the bass.
Yeah.
Kiara would sing. Isabella started singing. Alyssa started singing. So our whole family has just been worship heavy. And we've been very thankful and grateful for it. But we have also always been a couple that really wants to hone in on what we're singing.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to make it just something that we just sing because the lyrics sound cool.
Or it's a popular
song, right? We've always been a couple that's, let's examine this song before we do it.
Yeah.
And even in that, there are still some, songs that we probably sing that people are like, well, I don't really like that one. But we really searched our heart and prayed over songs before we sung them.
Yeah.
And then you take in that part of it, and then kind of the modern day, we're going to talk about or bash certain groups and churches and all this different things. And then you kind of lose that heart of it. Like, let's examine the song for what it is and what it says and what it does. And you go, well, just because it's written by this person or this group is involved or they recorded it, well, it's bad. And we never did that either.
No.
We would take the song, look at it. If we liked a melody or if we liked or a chorus or something, but didn't like a verse, we would rewrite it, or we just wouldn't sing that part of it.
Yeah.
Because everything that we did, we wanted to bring honor to God.
Yeah. If the lyrics themselves were honoring to God, they were biblically sound and correct, then I don't care who wrote it. Like, God's still going to get the glory. He's still going to be magnified when we're doing the worship, and people are still going to be drawn to the Holy Spirit, or the Holy Spirit's going to draw them to Christ. So I'm going to sing it.
Yeah. And then on top of that, if it was popular and people knew it, that made it even better, because you want people to enter into worship with you.
Yeah.
You don't want to just sing all these dry songs that nobody knows, because then they're just standing around watching you do a show. And we never wanted that either.
Absolutely not. Yeah. I don't ever want to be up there for the attention of myself. It is everything that we've ever done from that stage, if it has ever appeared to be self-glorifying, I ask for forgiveness right now, because there is absolutely nothing in me that desires for attention, for my talent, for my gift. I mean, everything we do, Pastor Jeremy, he would always emphasize this with our students, that there's an audience of one.
Yeah.
And that's who we sing to. That audience is going to Christ, not to anybody out in the congregation or in the building, wherever we're doing worship. Like, it's all for him.
Right. Well, then, so that kind of leads us to our topic for today is worship lyrics. And there was a song that you were listening to probably about a week or two ago, and you brought it to my attention while we were getting ready that day or that morning. Tell me that song and kind of what stuck out to you.
Yeah, it's a group called Seven Hills Worship. I don't know if they're their original singers of this song. It's just who I was listening to at the time. But it's called Found a Love. And I don't know if I'd ever heard it before. I probably have, because I have several songs like on rotation. Just I listen to it as I'm getting ready, whatnot. But this lyric kind of stuck out to me as I was getting ready, and I asked you about it. And the words are, I found a love that would chase after me, or that chases after me. I can't remember the exact lyrics, and it just kind of struck a chord with me. And I asked you how you felt about it.
Yeah. So that was kind of the start of the conversation. And then immediately now I'm like, okay, well, let me ponder that lyric, because
how do you feel about that?
That was the question. How do you feel about this lyric?
Yeah.
And immediately it's like, well, how do I feel about it?
You were like, yeah, he does chase after us. And I was like, okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just asking you how you felt about it.
Yeah. But then you got to go, okay, I know that in essence, he does pursue us.
Yeah.
You know, we see that in the Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve have sinned, and it is God himself that comes down to look for them, even asking the question, not that he didn't know, but asking the question of, where are you?
Yeah.
So he was asking then, where are you? He was in the pursuit of him or of them, because he knew what the relationship was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so, but even beyond the feeling, you're asking me, like, does this line up biblically?
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate goal, because we don't, even if it feels right.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that feels good to us, it sounds, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Like,
because who doesn't want God chasing after them, right?
Yeah. Then there's a part of that it kind of catches your spirit a little bit.
Yeah.
You're like, well, chasing after me, that almost sounds like I'm edifying myself over God, even when I'm saying it.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, it was just making sure that it's not a one-way street here. Like, yes, the Bible is clear. God has many, many names. One of them being he is our shepherd. And what does a shepherd do? He tends to his sheep. He chases them when they get lost. He brings them back to the herd. And so that's part of who he is. Yes. But it can't be just God pursuing us the entire time. The Bible is very clear in many, many, many different scriptures about seeking him.
Right.
Looking to him. It was James 4. It says, come near to God and he'll come near to you. So it's a two-way street. And I think sometimes what I was getting at that day when I was asking you was, do we glorify that part more than we do the actual pursuit of God? Are we glorifying, okay, God, you're going to come chasing after me? There's another very popular song. I brought it up that morning too. The goodness of God, that bridge, man, I love that bridge.
Yes.
You know, your goodness is running after me.
Yeah,
absolutely. I want it to be running after me, but that can't be my only desire, is to wait for God to pursue me.
Right. And truth is, as a Christian, I don't want his goodness to run after me, because I want to be in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like I want to be like, I don't want him to have to come chase me down.
Yeah.
Right. Because that tells me that I'm walking away.
Yeah.
Right. And so there is a part of that. But before we kind of get even a little bit deeper in that, do want to make it a point to bring up the scripture that is in reference to this, because again, we don't want something that just feels right. We don't want something that just makes us feel good. We want to be biblically sound. So this is a psalm that a lot of you know. It is Psalm 23. It's the very last verse, and it says in verse 6, surely goodness and mercy, this is the King James Version, shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Yeah.
And so you hear that and you're like, okay, yeah, so it's following after me. And I've preached it this way, that means that, God has your rear guard, which he says in another verse, that he covers you. He goes before you and fights before you, but he also comes behind you. He also partners with us. So he walks beside us, so that in all four corners, per se, or all four directions of our life, he's covering.
Yeah.
But when you look at the actual Hebrew word there, which is,
go with your Hebrew.
I know, I'm gonna get nerdy, which is, and I'm probably gonna mispronounce this, is radap, which is a verb meaning to pursue and to chase, or to chase after, to pursue someone. This says, if you really want to get down to it, to even in a hostile manner. So like, it is God saying, I will not let you go. I will not let you go in the direction you're going. I will not let you walk away from me. You ever had a relationship where you're like, no, you're not leaving this, like, you're not leaving like that. And so you just kind of go and you stand in front of them and you're like, no, this is not how this ends. You're not going to do this. I love you too much. This is what that verbiage gives to us. And so it is a chasing after us.
Yeah.
And so that's why I do love that verse. And of course, you even just bringing it up, you made me go and really pursue that and figure out, am I really in agreement with that? And the answer is yes.
Yeah. And me too. And I even said to you, like, I don't disagree with you. I'm just trying to stretch and like, am I focusing too much on that part where that I don't feel like I have to pursue him, but it's kind of like he is our father, but kind of like parents. Kids don't have to wonder whether or not, well, good loving families anyway, don't have to wonder whether or not their parents are going to feed them dinner that night. They don't have to wonder whether or not their parents love them. They already know that their parents are going to be there. So they're not necessarily chasing or asking for food, asking for shelter, roof over their head, because they already know that as their parent, they're going to take care of that. So in the same way, it's like, yes, God is our father. He does pursue us. He does chase us, but we have a part too. We have a part. We have to be the ones who pursue him as well.
Which then kind of goes into the whole point of what is worship? Like, what is the purpose of worship then? Like, what do we want to make sure that we're doing in our worship? And that biggest part is our worship is designed to lift God up, not lift ourselves up. Yeah. Right. And so even what you were just saying there is, Paul says, don't think that you can go on sinning because you have come to Christ. Just because you have grace doesn't mean, and that's what I think is your attitude is like, I want to make sure that I'm edifying God, that I'm lifting him up, that I'm magnifying him, that I'm bringing everything to him and laying it all down at his feet, saying, you're the one, you're the one, you're the one, so that number one, he doesn't have to come chase me down. Yeah. Because I don't want that. Yeah. But I'm always there. But two, so that my eyes aren't stuck on me. Yeah. Because that's what a lot of our worship is today. Yeah.
I think it's comforting too, though, to know that when you are in those moments where you're not pursuing the Lord because of circumstances around you, death, illness, what have you, and you're in a low place where you feel distant from the Lord, it's comforting to know that at least I can look in his word and says that he does pursue me, that he will come to me when I'm in those low moments, that I'm not alone, because he does come chasing after me. And that the name of that song, I found a love that would chase after me. Like it, similar to a marriage. And he brought up that example about how when you're in a relationship, I just want everybody in the world to know that Chris is that one that won't let me leave and be mad. Like he comes chasing after me. Even if I was the ugly one in the disagreement, or what do we call intense moment of fellowship. Even if I'm in the wrong, I swear, I find you apologizing more than I do. And so I just publicly letting everyone know that you're the more grace-filled one in this relationship. But it's comforting knowing that that's who God is to us, that even when we aren't even pursuing him, that he is going to chase us and pull us out of that miry clay, out of that pit that we've put ourselves in. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that's a beautiful image. I mean, God compares his relationship to us to marriage all the time.
Yeah.
But the fact that you just he pulls us out of that. Like we get in those moments where we're just in funks. Like I come to church, but I'm coming to church very robotic.
Yeah.
I read my Bible, but I'm reading it very robotic. I'm praying, but it's very robotic. There's no feeling, there's no emotion, because either something that I was praying for didn't happen. And so now I'm a little offended. Yeah. Right? I'm a little upset at God. Like, let's be honest. Yeah. Like, let's not try to, I never get mad at God. You lie. Like, because you do. But we're in those moments where we almost want to say, just leave me alone then.
Yeah.
But he goes, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Because if I leave you alone, you may actually leave me. You may actually turn away.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep pursuing you. And I'm going to keep coming after you.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the way we should always be in every relationship. Mm-hmm. I don't even think I'm meant to make it this turn, but, maybe it is. Even in church, we have this phrase going around in church that I'm not going to chase people.
Yeah.
So when they leave the church, I'm not chasing people.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you want to stay, you stay. If you want to go, you want to go. I don't even know maybe how true that is. And I've said it.
Yeah.
Like, me too. And I'm like, I almost believe it, but sitting here right now talking to you, that's not even in my notes to talk about this. It's like, okay, but if God it does that for us, we do that in the relationships that we really care about. Like, you're almost going to have to walk over my dead body to leave this relationship. Right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And I'm not saying that every single relationship is like that, because we see Jesus, who could have said and stopped Judas if we believe the power of God. But he tells Judas, go ahead and go do what you're going to do, bro.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead and go finish it up.
Yeah.
And
that's good. And you're right. There are some relationships that I think God gives you the grace to not have to chase, but I think we could take some ownership, and there are some relationships that we shouldn't let go because of some petty argument or misunderstanding or what have you. That
pride. My goodness.
Pride is huge.
Pride in yourself. Like, oh, you hurt me. Well, then I'm done.
Yeah.
Or you took that wrong, so that's on you. And if you're going to walk away, then whatever. No, humble yourself. Go apologize.
Yeah.
And get it right.
That's good.
I mean, because it's the very same thing. Jesus tells go, but Peter denies Jesus, denies his relationship, denies everything, says, no, I'm nothing, to the point of even cursing himself. Right. And then Jesus wakes up from the dead and goes, hey, I got to go get Peter. Like, he's going to go chase down Peter.
Yeah.
Peter's out on the boat, and here is Jesus out on the side. Hey, man, you caught anything? No, I ain't caught nothing. Just toss it on the other side, doing the exact same miracle that got him in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's a full circle back around, and it's Jesus doing the pursuing.
Yeah, that's so good. I know I've heard these stories before, but like hearing it for the first time again today, like, wow, that's how much Jesus loved him, that even as much as he hurt him, he still went and pursued him.
Yeah.
It gives comfort to us when we are like, all right, I've screwed up. God's done with me.
Right. God is done with me. Oh, and how many times do we get in those settings where we just sit down and we're like, God's finished with me. I mean, it's almost not that I've even done anything, but just remembering past sins when the devil brings that condemnation on you. Yeah. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's true. There's no way God's going to use me. He's done with me. Mm. And then here he is sitting on the side of the shore. Hey, cast on the other side. And by the way, I got breakfast for you. Like, I'm not even going to just do the same thing. I'm going to go above and beyond. And so when you get here, I've got fish already cooking because I know you've been out there all night and you're hungry.
Yeah.
It's the father running to the son once he sees him come home. And that's a key point too.
That's true.
I want to make sure that people understand that.
Yeah.
Like, Peter jumped out of the boat to swim to Jesus. The prodigal son was seen walking too. So here comes James. You made the first step towards me. Now I'm running towards you.
Yeah.
Right. So many times again, going back to what you said, I don't want it to be just Christ's pursuit of me.
Absolutely.
Let me humble myself, return back to him. And as soon as I do, he sees me and he comes for me.
He wants fellowship with us.
Yeah.
He wants to hang out with us. And in those moments, going back to worship, in those moments of worship, it's not about us, but he makes it for us. Like once we are surrendered to self and we're giving him honor that he absolutely deserves, he comes and visits with us. He's like, okay, son and daughter, here I am.
Yeah.
Let's hang out. Let's have a good time together. And you can't beat it.
No.
Like, and we don't have to be in a worship setting, like in a building.
Right.
Worship doesn't just happen in church. It doesn't just happen at a conference. Worship happens in my car on the way to work, probably every day.
Right. And in truth, if it just happens in those big setting moments, it's not happening there.
Yeah.
You're just being wrapped up in what other people's worship is, but it's not true worship of you, because your true worship is going to come when there's nobody else to watch, nobody else participating.
Absolutely.
It's just you and the Lord.
Yeah.
And then I love what you just said too, that our worship, he makes it for us. That whole magnification, and I'm going to steal Pastor Jeremy's thing right here, is when we magnify him, there's 3 ways that it happens, and I may forget them, so forgive me. But I know one is a telescope, the other is a magnifying glass, and a microscope. And so a telescope makes things that are far off seem close. And so when we begin in worship, even when we don't feel like it, even when we want to be isolated, even when we've had bad problems, or the world is coming against us, we take God who seems like he's afar off and we bring him close.
Yeah.
And then the magnifying makes things larger. So then I walked into church and I was focused on my problems because they're huge, right? I got to pay bills. I got to pay rent. I just lost my job. My car's broke, whatever all these things are. And they're so big to us. Yet when we worship God, we magnify him and make him bigger than the problem, which he is to begin with. We just got to put our focus on it.
Absolutely.
And then the microscope is I see things that I didn't see before. They've always been there, but I get to see things at a closer level that I didn't know. So when he gets closer, he gets bigger. Now I'm seeing things that I didn't know before. Again, God taking our worship of him and blessing us with it.
Yeah, come on.
It's just
So
crazy.
good.
It's just
So
crazy.
good.
Well, so I hope y'all kind of enjoyed this walk in worship. I guess the summation is that phrase of chasing after me, chasing after us is okay.
Yes, it's okay.
And we're going to run with it. Make sure that you are listening. We'll tag the song and things in here as well, so that you can hear it. And we'll give props and to
Seven
Hills Worship. I'll make sure I give them the props that they deserve, because the song is incredible, truly. And we have found a love in Christ.
Yes. Amen.
So in closing, make sure that you like and subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. Hope you enjoyed this walk episode 2. It has been fun for us. I hope you enjoyed it's not really your first podcast, but I guess first hosting podcast.
It is actually my very first recording. I don't know that did one with Life Institute.
Oh, okay. That's true. You did.
Yeah, I did.
Well, this is your own podcast.
There you go.
So there you go.
Shameless plug. Can I?
Shameless plug, whatever.
If you have been listening, it's my podcast. You're right. If you have been affected by an abortion of any kind, I know how you're feeling. I was 18 when I had my abortion, but God has since broke me of those chains of grief, shame, and regret. And I'm here for you. That's exactly what we do at Save One. We have leaders all over. We're in 27 countries, and we have over 400 chapters here in the U.S. And abroad. So if you are someone and you find yourself trying to deal with the emotions from a past abortion, please reach out to us at info@saveone.org, or you can find me on Facebook or whatever and chat with me.
Yeah, and I will say this is to the men too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will lead a group. I'll take you through it one-on-one. So don't think that it's just for women because she's the one doing it. It is not. Men and women all around are affected, and all of us can find healing, can find safety, can find restoration, redemption.
Yes.
All of it, obviously through Christ, but we have tools and stuff to get you there as well.
Yes.
All right. Well, y'all have a great day.